folks. Gabrielle. Hi. Well, I got another one to do. 'Tis the season. Cleaning everybody's elk, but not my own. So, let's do it.
And where down we go, where down we go, say where down we go.
Gotta degrease this puppy. Okay, well that's what's gonna have to happen on this one, and I need another one to somehow fit in that way. So this is kind of my process. I do a handful of these a year, not a lot, but I would definitely do it more as a substantial business if I had a better setup. I mean, as you can, it's just my personal shed. It's a pretty good sized shed, but there's not a ton of room. It'd be nice to have like a drain system, you know, permanent places for the bins with a drain source so they don't have to freaking move them and dump them by hand and what have you. That'd be phenomenal. But yeah, this is the process of maceration. I used to boil skulls back in the day, but kind of got away from that. The consensus around a lot of the hunting world is that boiling skulls damages skulls. I firmly believe that it doesn't unless you allow it. Overboiling and just leaving. Wow, yeah, this is stinky business. Overboiling definitely damages skulls, or can damage bone if you just let it go forever. But a lot of times the amount of time that you have to boil really reflects on how much preparation you did. If you skinned it down to, I mean, damn near everything. Pulled the eyes, scrambled the brain, did all the freaking nasty, removed the lower jaw. Like, if you do all of that before it ever touches the boil, even this process is the same right here. If I don't do anything and I just let nature take its toll, do its thing, it's gonna take a whole hell of a lot longer if I leave all of that on there. One of these that I got, it had already been skinned, but they left the lower jaw on it because they didn't know how to remove it, and it kind of stunk a little bit. So I didn't want to spend a whole hell of a lot of time messing with it. And really, it's that one. It's the one that's already in the degrease. A lot of times when they start to rot naturally instead of this progressed rot, which is what I'm doing, adding it to about 95-degree water is kind of the way that I progress that and create a bacteria that then will eat the flesh and just damn near make it fall off. Just the natural of just being, the creature being dead and being out, and the potential of bugs or it's sweating or whatever, like that helps too. But a lot of times when you skin a head and then it sits for a long period of time, or not long period of time, but even just a couple of days, the oils that's in the hide, in the skin, in the fat, in everything, when it doesn't have a hide, it retreats to the bone, which then makes it harder to get it out as the skull cleaner, taxidermist, whatever. So, my recommendation, I always tell people, if you're bringing it to me, if at all possible, leave the hide on it. Now, if it's a pack out animal, no, that's not going to happen. And you can get it out, it just takes longer. But, anywho, I enjoy doing it. I've done it for about 10 years or so now, and I've just slowly, I've watched a lot of videos, I've tried a lot of new things. I'm always trying new products for degreasing, for heating. Never tried the beetle thing. That's a whole nother battle. And I don't have the setup for that either, or the place. They are quite picky critters, but would be phenomenal. I mean, it would be awesome. So, for the sake of, I'm not trying to say I'm lazy. Not that boiling is hard, but it's more of one of those you gotta sit and babysit it. Oh yeah, so my opinion with boiling, the biggest thing, if you get that thing to a rip and boil and you get this thing prepped down to, I mean, there's only 10% of meat to come off and clean, and you put that in the boil, in a rip and boil at that point, it won't need to be in there that long, maybe 45 minutes or so. The skin will start splitting away. At that point, you pull it out and rock it with a pressure washer. When I first started, I was picking with, I mean, a knife, forceps, and you still need these things, but that's what I was doing. And good Lord, it'd take me all day easily to do one deer head. I mean, I was just learning, trying things, and I found out real quick that was not fun. Now this process here, I find that it's incredibly easy. I put them in the water and I walk away for a week. Not really. You do need to check on it, but that's ultimately what it is. As you put it into a, I got my Inkbird set at 95 degrees for the meat removal. When I switch it over to the degreasing, I'll put the heat source in the degreaser with either 50/50 ammonia setup or an ass load of dish soap, Dawn dish soap, but just a degreaser. I did this method last year, and I think they came out phenomenal. Um, I know that I have deer on the wall that I did 10 years ago, and they're starting to yellow and what have you. I don't know if hunters as a whole, if they really give a damn. They look cool naturally. Naturally, a bone is yellow, not yellow, but it's got a tint to it. It ain't stone cold white. A lot of people like that pearl white so that it makes the horns pop. But uh, my buck, which is this little dude I got right here in this cooler, this year I've decided, because I haven't done it yet, and I was gonna do it last year and completely spaced it, that I'm gonna run it through this process. I'm gonna get all the bead off. I'm gonna switch it over to the degreasing tank. I'm gonna run that, and the degreasing tank could take weeks, like 3 weeks. If you put your critter in there and you run the degreaser for about a week, and you come out and there is just, it looks like oil floating on, or nasty floating on top of the water, then do it again. And you literally repeat that process until you come out after a week and the water is stone clear. That's when you're done. I'm gonna do all of that process with my buck, and when these are done, after that, there's a complete whitening process that doesn't. I mean, it'll get them pretty freaking white, just pulling all the oil out. But then there is the whitening process. On my buck, I'm not gonna whiten it. I want to get it as clean and oil free, grease free, meat free, 100% free, degreased, and I'm leaving it. I watched a couple of videos, and I've seen a couple, not very many, but I've seen a couple of people do it and just leave it as a natural bone, and freak, it is awesome. All the little cracks and where the bones meet so that they can they can shift and what have you. They're a lot more highlighted, and so you can see the detail in the bone more than when it's stone white and it just looks white. I mean, there's not that much like shadow effect and 3D effect to it when it's just whiter than white. So I do like both, but for my own personal, I'm going to do natural this year and see if I like it. But anyway, this is kind of a long video. But I did get a buck this year. Obviously, he's right there. I got my YouTube channel and what have you, but I didn't really do a lot of videoing. It was a lot of slow days until it wasn't, and so I am gonna put a video up of my hunt this year just to kind of tell the story. But I just wanted another. Just something to put up. This is in the same world. This is what I like to do. And honestly, if I could make a business out of doing this, this is what I'd be doing right here instead of working at a tire shop. So, anywho, yeah, this one has been in the water for probably, well, both of these have actually been in the water for about 3 weeks. But that one has only been under heat. Because I got these before I went on my hunt. So, and both of these bulls right here are from the same. And 11-year-old kid shot his first bull, and this is it. This would be a 9x6 if this devil tine wasn't broke off. Massive sweeping eye guards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points on one side by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 by 5. Both youth first time bull tags. And this one here is a tank. And then another buddy got this 6x6, super dark antler, hardly even rubbed ivory tips into them. So, and then a little 3x3 buck. I have that board in there because the thing wants to float. You don't want the skull to dry out. You want it all to be submerged. So. Anywho, I'm gonna get that other one in here. It might take a little finagling. Oh. They're kind of in there. And you just fill her up. Tell you what, this shed has been, it's got about 5 million flies in it. I need to get my phone holder. It's a lot better to set up. I kind of just decided to do a video out of the blue. Oh, got the ivories pulled out of all of them. This super dark antlered one, which I'll show you again here in the light, but it's been in the heat for a couple of days, so it's getting pretty it's getting pretty gelatinous. It's if you can't do stench, if you can't do just almost the most god-awful smell you've ever smelled, then this isn't not the process for you. I know a couple guys that even gutting a deer, they're just like, whoa. If that's all it takes, this is bah. It is. I mean, I do it, and I'm telling you, it's not good. I think the worst part is if it only smelled bad, that'd be one thing. But I pretty much come out here every morning, lunch, and night to check the heater. You know, water will you'll get precipitation. The water level will go down. You don't want any skull being exposed, and I sure as hell don't want to be ruining a customer's animal or trophy. So I'm terrified all the time. I don't know why, but I am. And I'll open this door just to look in there and see if everything's alright. In that 20 seconds, the smell is like stuck to you. You wear it the rest of the day. So I got my work clothes on that I was wearing. Went in the house for 2 seconds. I'm gonna have to strip before I even go in. But my opinion is you get museum quality doing it this way. You're not boiling hard. The nasal cavity is intact. The earbuds are intact. All that you have to pull if you do boil, because you have to be able to get into the nasal and the brain to get the brain out and get the nose out. There's a lot of meat in there. This way is second best, in my opinion, to beetles or equivalent. And I hear beetles don't smell good either. That ain't a very. Alright, well, I got them in there. The water level's kind of high, but you really want the water all the way up to the burr as much as possible. Even though with these critters, if you don't have the right shape of bucket, it makes it kind of tough. But you just repeat the process. If it needs more time, you do it again. So that one, in about a half a bucket of just degreasing soap, and that's a cheap one for now. When I put heat to it, I'll get the better quality stuff. But it needs to stay moist. You don't want it to dry out until it's completely done. So it'll be fine to sit there like that. This one's ready to get cooking technically. So I just have this heater and it'll go in here. like that, I make sure that it's not touching anything, meaning the skull, the nose, anything down there. And I have a very atrocious setup here. This is what I'm saying. It works, but it's not great. So then you got to put this in here. This is the thermometer. You need to put it away from the heat source, and it needs to not be touching. It's kind of picky. It needs to not be touching the wall or the head or literally anything, which is kind of a pain to know for sure. So I put it on the opposite side of the heat, and then I have a Inkbird, which is this thermometer that I have the heat source plugged into, and I have mine set at 95. It's currently at 68, so it will get to that 95 and it'll hold. It's got a cooling and a heating. It's actually pretty freaking nice, let me tell you. But I need a better setup here. I had it out there because last year I just did deer. So with deer, smaller skulls, I have a freezer that I do this exact process, miniature, in a freezer. It holds the heat. And so I had my whole Inkbird set up with the heater, the thermometer, and everything all perfect over there. But none of these will fit except for mine. And customer stuff takes precedence over mine, so mine will be last. So, yep. Anyway, super ghetto setup, but it works. People, I guess I do a good enough job. People come back every year. I have gotten a couple of new customers over the years, but yeah, this feller here with the big chocolate antlers. This one here, they're dark as can be, but even on the sword, there's hardly any ivory tip to him. Really down on the very bottom is where he did any of his rubbing, but that guy is my most reliable customer. I do whitetail, antelope, and elk. Whitetail, antelope, and elk for them every year. Just different owners, whether it's him, the kids, his dad. So I'm expecting to have a whitetail to do soon as well. So anyway, this is kind of a ghetto setup like I said, but I enjoy doing it. These will literally sit in this fashion till today's Tuesday, November 5th, I think. They'll literally sit in the same spot for a week. If I need to add any water, which I usually don't at 95, maybe a little, just to keep the burrs underwater. I'll let them get nice and nasty and stinking, and probably by tomorrow, I can barely see the skulls in there right now, but by tomorrow I won't be able to see them at all. That bacteria will get cooking and get eaten, and in order to keep the stench down, you can dump it like every day or every other day, but really you're having to wait to recreate that bacteria. So really, if you can stand it, letting them sit in there in their own nasty for a longer amount of time is best. Is best for the progression. Not for your nasal passages or anything else. But yeah, I had to go get a fly trap. This place in the daytime, oh wow, it is quite insane. So I got this big old daddy. I'm gonna see how nasty this gets by tomorrow. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. I will make another one when I come back and do it again, and we'll just for a video, I'm just gonna do a progression on how this goes and how they turn out, and yeah, so we'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, welcome back to another progression vid of these European mounts. So The last video I did, I believe, was on Monday or Tuesday, and it is Sunday. So, just to give you an idea, this is two critters in one. So mind you, it's double the nasty. But that's what we're looking at after 6 days. This is the one I started in the degreaser, and you can tell that it is definitely not the same color. And there's some you can just see that, I don't know if you can see it, but there's oils and nasty on top. That's what we're looking for. My little dude's still sitting in here, hasn't progressed at all. So we're gonna get these things looked at and need to see where they're at with the rotting process, I guess. And if they're done, then we'll get that all off, and if not, then we'll need to clean the water and do it again. When you disrupt the water, get it turned up, whew, God, it's something fierce. So yeah, I mean, this ain't pretty, but that's really what you're looking for. All of that is just hanging on. I'm gonna get a pick the remaining 90% of this off. Probably end up putting it back in for another week with the heat and a pile of soap. So God, you gotta catch your breath. It's like your lungs don't want to work. But yeah, so we'll get these I'll pick on these a little bit. We'll get it down to see just how close we are. Let's jump on that. Alright, it's time to bring them back in. Really, these are damn near done. More time never hurt anybody. Just gonna put water and soap in these for a duration of days. I got the heat in with my my buck, because I want to try to keep them even so that I can degrease at the same time and then whiten at the same time. But I only have the one heating source and thermometer set up at the moment. That one soaked and was under heat for like 8 days or so. These were about 5 or 6. So they're right there. They could just use a little more. The bone does get soft, so I don't want to be scraping, pushing, prying. I just let it all happen as it's gonna happen. But this will be the last go in here. They'll be ready for the degrease. My buck's been soaked for so long that it shouldn't take but maybe a day or two under heat and everything, because everything's been loosened. And when the water gets cold, the meat will shrink, and then when you heat it up, it just kind of pulls right off the bone a lot of times. So that one shouldn't take but a day or two. It was already starting to fall off. My fly trap. Yeah, this place was nasty. So this one has been in for the same duration of this time. So they, like last Tuesday, so about 6 days. So that blue water has turned yellowish green. That is a great sign. That is a sign of a lot of oil being pulled. It ain't hurting nothing. I'm just gonna leave it for the moment. This one, you can see the water is clear. What you can see, you can actually see the skulls in there. I don't predict that'll change much. And then my little buck, I had to put the board on there because he wanted to float, but it'll be in 90-degree heat for a day or two, and should be ready to go. Then I'll just put the heat back in with the 2 elk for maybe a day or two. Let whatever remaining tissue that didn't come off today come off. And then everything I got will be at the degreasing point, at which point, actually tonight I'm probably going to buy another Inkbird and heater, because the degreasing process can take a very long time. They say with deer, the preferred number for degreasing is about 6 to 8 weeks, which is nuts. It's a long time. But I did do this process last year. I didn't keep track of the amount of time it took. I think this year I will. If I'm gonna do this from start to finish, I'll be able to keep track. But really, you're changing the water. Like this one here, it's all blue, or actually it's not blue at all. It's greenish yellow. So you would come out after a week with a heat source on that. That's cold. That's cold water. That's not 117 degrees, which is what I'll set the Inkbird to when I get to that. So that's pulling oil in cold water. So you'll get to a point, especially in the beginning, where like these with the nasty, you won't be able to see the skull in the nasty. That water will be so fogged up that you won't be able to see the skull very great in the beginning. But you'll do your degreasing bath in whatever fashion you do with the heat source for about a week. You'll come back, you'll check it. If it looks like that, then you'll dump it and you'll do it again until it literally, the water is as crystal clear as can be. that means that you've pulled every drop of oil out. So I do need to get another heat and another Inkbird so that I can do 2 pots at the same time. So I don't have one big enough to do all. And with it being a 6 to 8 week process, I'm trying to get these back to everybody by Christmas. Which means we're kind of time critical. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back again real soon. What's happening, guys? Just wanted to show you a little update. Today I got another Inkbird and heater. Big boy heater, 1500 watt Inkbird control system. It's a mess in here. Alright, let's get them going, because right now I have, just like the last video, the heater and everything is set up on my buck right now. Trying to get it to the current state of the rest of these. So we're Tuesday. On Wednesday, or on Sunday, where this video is picking up from, I did these, and you can see that the water hasn't really changed that much on these guys, but that's with no heat source. This one here looks quite gunky. That one there, it's only getting greener. So that's all good things, but now I have another setup that I'm going to put in with that one for now until this deer is done, to get that one starting, since it's already been technically degreasing for about a week, a little over. Get heat to that one, and then once this one's done, which I'm going to check it today too, to see where it's at, I'll be able to switch this heater and this setup to the bin with the double L, and at that point everything should be damn near in the degreasing stage. This one here might take heat for a couple of days just to get a couple of little things off, but if you're like 99% there and there's just a little bit left, the degreasing, loading it up with soap or ammonia or whatever the hell you want to use, it's only going to help. So I guess really what I would do is put heat to that for a couple days, maybe 1 or 2 days, and see if I'm getting much of a difference in coloration in the water. And if it's getting nasty, then there's clearly more than I thought, and at that point I'll just let it go for about a week, and then by that time it should for sure be done. But yeah, they're like maybe 98%. So let me get all this out and we'll see about getting it set up. So real quick, I know in the last video showing my buck, it really wasn't, I didn't show it off that great, but what I did show, it was like fully still, everything was still covered in meat. So after 2 days in the heat and maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks tops in cold water, I'm gonna pull it out right now for the first time and just see what we're looking at. It looks pretty foul. The lower jaw is about to fall off. So really, you can see there where the hair is falling off of the base of the antler. Well, there's a lot of nasty on them antlers. I'm gonna have to scrub those horns a little bit. But yeah, I'll probably give it another. I'll probably come mess with it tomorrow night, and it'll probably be done. But that thing kind of grody. So, all right, let me get these pulled out, and we'll see what we're looking at. God, I think this thing's bigger than that one. I don't know. I know last time, that was the first time I used an ink bird, and it was kind of confusing, kind of a pain to get set up from. I'm pretty sure when you open it out of the box, it's in Celsius, and it was kind of a pain to, because there's not a lot of buttons. You just got to click, click, double click, hold, do all this crap. It was kind of annoying, so I'm probably gonna pause you here in a second. Look at that pretty dude, heating element in there. I'm definitely gonna pause you to get this set up, because I don't know how long it's gonna take me. Luckily, once you set it up like this one, once you set it up, even if you unplug it and you plug it back in, it's just like, it stays where it's at until you change it. So that's it. You got your temperature control. You got a plug for heating and cooling. You plug your device, whether it's a heater or cooler, into the heating or the cooling. Plug this in, set it to what you want, go. So let me plug this in and get things situated here, and we'll see what she looks like. Alright guys, I got it set up. So I tried to make this setup a little bit better, using whatever space I got. So I got the Inkbird set up. This one's set up for 100. Well, let me flip this. I don't even know if you can see it on the video, but I got it set for 115. It's climbing, it's at 61. But yeah, I got it in the degreasing bin. I'll probably let this go. So tomorrow, or actually I have Thursday off this week. So I'll probably let this sit till then, and then get warm, do a little bit of a warm bath, and then I'll dump this and start fresh now that I actually have a heat source for it. So yep, Inkbird 1 on the degreasing tank, Inkbird 2, which is currently set at 95 degrees and is sitting at 95.6. So it's doing its thing, marinating the old buck. So by Thursday, I think, by Thursday, I think this one it'll be warm. It will have been warm for at least a day, but it's been sitting in that water for about 8 days. So it'll be good to get that one cleared out, and by then that one should be done. And then I can add it to, well, yeah, I'll probably add it to this one, and then put the heat to this one here with the double, just to get it polished off, and then let that do its thing till Sunday. And then by Sunday I can almost guarantee that they will be done and everything will be at the degreasing state. So this is just a little update. I'm feeling good. I got two setups now. So I got double the action going on, double the productivity, which I haven't had happening for a while. So it does feel good. I don't like that I had to spend the money this close to it. It is what it is, and really it's just gonna make things better for me in the future. I kind of feel like after these are done, or at least I get a pot cleared out, I kind of want to try and get in contact with a local butcher or something and get a cow skull or something to try. I've never tried one of them. Don't know how long that would take. I mean, that's a big hit, but yeah, I just like doing it. And if I don't have many critters like this to do, then you know I don't care. I'll find something else. I do have a coyote head, but it's literally like this big, and that one will be just like in a bucket. Like it won't be in one of these setups here. So, yeah, appreciate you. I do realize that damn near every video I'm wearing the same thing. This is not the same day. It's just my work get up. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm actually gonna post this video pretty soon. I'm gonna go in the house and work on it, and it'll be just like the first installment, because some of these I'm talking and I'm explaining my method and my opinions and stuff. So I don't want like a freaking 6-hour video. So I'll probably do it in stages. And if you watch it, I appreciate you. If nobody watches it, then whatever. I still had fun making it. That's really all it's about for me. Is just I like going back and watching stuff that I've done. Year or two from now, I don't know. I'm a weirdo, I guess, but that's the reason why I made hunting videos, was basically for me and John to go back and watch them later and just re-experience the fun that we had. I just recently started the YouTube channel in hopes that maybe some other people will get a kick out of it. So anyway, I'm gonna post it, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, I guess they don't. So anyway, okay. Have a good night.